Hi everyone, thanks for coming. We would like to introduce our product, Brayn. I'm Trevor, I'm a technical guy on the team, and this is Justin, he's the sales and marketing guy.
We have a pretty radical but simple idea, and that is that epilepsy patients and people that suffer from seizures regularly should live normal, fulfilling lives. The problem is that epilepsy is actually a deeply debilitating disease.
I've had epilepsy for 12 years. I still don't have my driver's license, and I had to quit swimming, a sport that I've loved, because of seizures in the pool. Most epilepsy patients also deal with social anxiety, since they don't know when they're going to have a seizure, what their peers will think, or how they will respond. Current treatments are harsh and lack real-world data. In-hospital EEG monitoring is awkward, obtrusive, and overall an awful experience. It's not uncommon to have to wait 6 months to a year for an in-hospital EEG like this one that I had about 10 years ago. Our product Brayn will solve these problems. It features a non-obtrusive headset that transmits live brain data to a user's mobile device to track, monitor, and ultimately predict seizures. There are approximately 65 million epilepsy patients worldwide, according to the Epilepsy Foundation, at about 5,700 U.S. facilities. These both provide potential revenue streams that we will discuss shortly.
So we're in a really hot industry that some people call M-Health, which is mobile technology applied to healthcare. Some people, lots of analysts, believe that M-Health is the future of the $2.9 trillion U.S. healthcare industry. Everything from urine analysis, iPhone apps, to there's an iPhone case that will take your pulse and then text it to your doctor. But this is a really hot industry. So a quick overview of how our product works. The user wears the headset, sends live brain data to the user's mobile device. We'll actually show you this working. We then require the user to input external events such as stress or sleep or exercise and nutrition. We then analyze and predict epilepsy events based on those patterns and send warnings or high-level predictions back to the user's mobile device. So here's our app. This is kind of the main screen where the user would see their live brain data. This is where you input those external factors such as seizures, sleep, or stress. And this is the log screen where you can view past recording. So would you all like to see this live? We're going to kind of show you on the webcam here. This is Trevor's brain right now. So Trevor, why don't you blink for us a bunch? You can see it kind of spike. Why don't you close your eyes and pretend like you're sleeping on the beach or something? You can see it calming down. So we have a full proof of concept working on the Android platform. I want to talk about our revenue streams. We've identified 7, but 2 that we believe are the strongest. One is for patients. It's going to work kind of like Life Alert, which is that button when your grandma falls down and breaks her hip. It's $6 a month, and essentially, if we sense seizures or other events, we will text your family or triangulate and call 911 to your location based on whatever user preferences. And then the other opportunity is a provider portal to large healthcare companies. So a doctor would be able to log in, see all of the brain activity for all of his or her epilepsy patients. So a few things we need to talk about real quick. Competition. There's actually not commercial competition. There's a group in Amsterdam that's doing a mobile EEG kind of thing, but it's not just any sort of product or service. We do have a provisional patent filed on this product model and workflow. The FDA is currently not enforcing regulations on mobile healthcare devices or M-Health products, which is a question mark, but not an active concern. And pre-revenue, which is a startup, is a nice way of saying we've never sold a darn thing. A couple comments about us. Trevor is a current student. He's a sophomore, a computer science major. He's the brains behind Brayn. I'm just the mouth. I graduated a few years ago from CC as an econ major. Worked at several startups, including a company called CodeBaby here in Colorado Springs. I'm now an account exec at a marketing company called Magneti. And I also want to make sure we thank tons of people that have helped us even get to this point, lots of volunteers, including Dr. Ted Gibbs, who's sitting right over here, who's given us a lot of medical advice. Where we are right now, first proof of concept done, initial IP filed. We're actively raising $2.9 million to achieve the next 2 phases, including full IP rights both nationally and internationally. We also are going to develop a full new headset, something that can fit under a hat that a user could wear kind of on a regular basis, and then full launch. So some of the quick numbers behind that, you can see our burn rate over those 2 phases. Our scheduled launch, including the new headset, the provider portal, and the Brayn alert system, is 19 months, which is January 15th, and that 19 months would be after we raise our money. And we're cash flow positive 11 months later, with it takes us about 23 months to kind of get back to the $2.9 million cash on hand that we would raise in that Series A. So the stuff we have going for us, we're in a hot space, solving a real problem. We have the opportunity to create a small, unobtrusive headset. It drives big data. We want to be the largest source of live brain data in history. And from an investor perspective, we have multiple revenue streams, but really the opportunity to change a lot of lives with this platform. So what we're looking for, feedback and mentors. Dr. Gibbs has already been wonderful in that arena. Supporters and fans, we need introductions in the healthcare industry. And like I mentioned, we are actively raising around $2.9 million for those two, for the next two phases of our project. That's all. Thank you. We would love for you to go to our website, thebrayn.com, and sign up for email updates. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Is there a validated signature, in other words, scientifically validated signature that you know when you are about to have a seizure onset?
Some people have aura, which means they know when they have a seizure. But for those who don't, there is a sequence of events. I would always have seizures after a stressful day, or when I was really tired, after hard workouts, etc. And with enough data, we will be able to analyze these events and predict when someone has a seizure.
Those are to your question. Has anybody been able to predict them so far? And the answer is no. And go ahead.
We're going to take a very statistical data mining approach to this problem instead of a medical approach, which has been taken thus far.
So it's a heuristic, personal heuristic.
Exactly. So we know that when A, B, and C have happened, and your brain is doing D, you've had seizures in the past. So here's a 80% confidence level warning to your mobile device.
Can you prevent, if you know that, can you do anything to prevent the seizure from coming on?
At this point, there's nothing that has been able to prevent seizures. I have surgery. Our device isn't going to be capable of that. The most it could do is say, you are at 95% risk, or 95% chance of having a seizure in the next hour.
You're in your danger zone, so
Keep yourself safer that way.
don't get in the car.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sit down and whatever.
What other applications, you say you want to be the source of the greatest brain income in the world.
Right.
So what other applications are there for this besides epilepsy?
I think in 20 years, we will be able to think and control our computers, control the items around us. Having a huge data set, such brain data, regardless of whether it's surrounded with seizures, will be incredibly valuable.
Wonderful questions. Thank you so far. Anybody else?
There's time for 2 more questions.
I'd just like to make the observation that this is extremely exciting. At the same time, it's going to be challenging to get investors when you're still in the R&D phase. And I think you ideally need to go to someplace like NIH and get something like a SBIR or an STTR or something like that to get you something really funding that you need.
How have you guys funded on that topic? How have you funded up to this point? You've obviously spent some real money to develop the real devices.
Well, this wasn't too much. This was around 100.
Yeah, this device actually you can buy online, and you can buy games for your iPhone. You can control with this device. So there's like a helicopter game, and when you focus, it goes up, and when you relax, it goes down. So there's actually a company that built this device. Part of the cash we mentioned in the investment is to build our own headset. So, but to answer your question, most of this has been mining so far for IP and some of that.
Developing the app.
Well,
Trevor built that himself. Yeah. And I can't say this enough too. We've also had a bunch of people volunteer their time. The actual app designers, T-shirts, video people. I mean, when people hear this idea, they love it, and they've been falling over themselves to help us. And
Last
it's
question.
exciting for us. Yes, ma'am.
PTSD
As a potential target
as a
market.
potential target.
And a third that might is even bigger than epilepsy is actually those that suffer from migraines. So there's lots of angles to this. The epilepsy one is one that's obviously near and dear to our hearts, as Trevor's suffered from it for a long time.
So when you wrote the patent, was it exclusive to the epilepsy application, or was it brought in?
No, it was really based on taking brain data, applying and looking for patterns, and then sending some sort of confidence level and warning back to the
Business method patent?
Yes, it's a process, right? It's provision.